Tara Greene here, up in Toronto, Canada, for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I don't know if anybody can see me or not. Hold on, I'm also, the same thing happened to me last time. I don't know what it is. It went on live. It said that I was on live. I can't see anybody right now, so please say hi to me and let me know that you're there. Okay, it says I'm on public. Yeah. Yes, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. It's Tara Greene here. I should be showing up on the screen. There I am. Okay. I am right now. Okay, I can see myself now. Okay. So I did the same thing before, I guess. I am working from my phone now. There you go. So please come and say hi. Can you hear me okay? I don't know if you can hear me okay now. Yeah, okay, I see somebody's watching there. Sorry, I don't know what this is. I haven't really figured this out yet. Hi, Tina. Okay, please come and say hi. Let me know where you are in the world. I'm Tara Greene here from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Sorry, the camera did come on and say I was live, but I didn't see myself on the screen because my computer jumps in and does everything else. I think I have to go. Can you see me now? Sorry. Okay, you can see me now. Sorry, this is so topsy-turvy. Okay, it's because my phone cuts in and out. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Sorry for this. Wait a few minutes for more people to come on. I'm just going to address the phone here. Okay, you can hear me okay? All right, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me okay. All right, so please come and say hi. Let me know where you are in the world. Okay, I'm Tara Greene, Agent 129 from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm virtually smudging you all right now. Okay, so I want to welcome you to April's Astrology and Live Tarot Card Preview. So tomorrow, it is already tomorrow, it's April the 1st in Down Under, where the Cosmic Intelligence Agency started in Melbourne, Australia, over 20 years from now. So April Fool's Day, to be the wise fool in the tarot, the Fool Zero is 22. And it is the card of enlightenment. So we all get to be the enlightened fools tomorrow and every day, because the fool lives totally in the moment. And that is the gift of the fool. It's like the inner divine golden child, our original essence. So doesn't worry about the past, doesn't worry about the future. It would be a good thing to keep in mind these days. Now, I'm going to wait a few more minutes for more people to come on. I'm going to have to move my phone a little bit back a bit too, so you can see me. Okay. So if you haven't been here before, I am welcoming you to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. This is a feature I've been doing for years now. You'd think I would have had this figured out by now, but there's something with my software, and it's an old computer. I'm going to get a new one soon. So I'm going to talk about April's astrology. I did my homework. I've got my notes. There's a big red letter day there coming up. So if you're in Aries, of course, you know that this is your time. But for everybody, the big 5-alarm fire, the big 8-alarm fire, depending on which tradition you use at astrology, however many planets you count, is coming this April. So I'm going to go through all those details, and then I'm going to pull my tarot cards. This is the Thoth Tarot. Pull cards for every sign, your rising, your sun, your moon, and all of your different planets. And then I'm going to use an extra deck here, because I like to do that just to give you an extra little helping card. This is called the Tarot of Metamorphosis. It's a quirky little deck, but I do like it. So I'm going to pull some extra helping cards too. Okay, so let's get started. So it's March 31st here in Toronto, Canada. There's a bit of a thunderstorm going on, so that we might hear the thunder. It's going to be a wowza month. So this month, the last planetary shoe drops when Uranus enters Gemini to stay for the next 7 years. But there's a full moon tomorrow, so April starts with a full moon. 12 degrees Libra, 21 minutes. And I do the exact minute and second because I have Virgo South Node here, so you want to have all the details. So you want to look at where 12 degrees of Libra is in your chart. Can try to bring some balance into this craziness that's going on. This is a very karmic time. Libra is the scales of justice in the tarot. That's karma, where the ancient goddess Ma'at weighed the hearts of the dead against her ostrich feather diadem, her crown. Okay, so the moon is going to be opposite Neptune, Saturn, the sun, Mars, Mercury, Chiron, and Eris. but in conjunct, which means it is not being seen, it's invisible, or it's in a blind spot to Venus, which is the ruling planet of Taurus. Now, Venus just entered Taurus a couple of days ago, and in conjunct Mercury and Pisces as well. So there's some kind of message that's not going to get through very clearly yet. On April the 3rd, we're heading into Good Friday. Of course, for Christians, 1 billion Christians around the world, very special day. Passover also starts on the full moon. Mercury trines Jupiter at 15 plus degrees. That's at 4:28 a.m. PDT, 7:28 a.m. EDT, and 11:28 GMT. That is a good luck brainstorming, a spiritual high energy, because Jupiter is the planet of the master teacher. So that would be a good one to meditate, to get clarity. It is Pisces Cancer energy, so very emotional, very watery. Jupiter is still at that 15th degree where it's been hanging out for months, right in the middle degrees. Now, on April the 3rd, a big power day, Venus squares Pluto. That's at 5 plus degrees of Taurus, Aquarius. Venus is in her home sign, so she's very strong. You know, everybody gets to preen and be very sensuous and grounded. This is a good thing with all that Aries fire energy here. She entered her own sign again, March 30th till April the 23rd to the 24th. So there's going to be tension. Squares are tensions, not a bad thing. You know, squares are like the sand in the oyster. You got to make a pearl with it, right? That's a good metaphor for Jupiter in Cancer. So there's going to be tension with the stock market, the crypto market. You know, Pluto rules the underworld. It rules oil in a way too, even though Neptune traditionally rules oil. So it could be highs or lows, okay, if you're invested in the market. On April the 5th, the Sun squares Jupiter. Again, Jupiter, the largest planet, our big protector planet, at 16 degrees. Finally, it moves up to 16 degrees at 3:23 p.m. PDT, 6:23 p.m. EDT, 10:23 p.m. GMT. On April the 8th, Mars enters Aries. So that's a big deal. Mars goes home to Aries. It's going to really amp up that energy. It's put the foot to the gas pedal. No patience, okay? No patience. Just jump into that fire. Don't be afraid. You know, Aries is quite fearless. It just jumps and then it thinks about it. At 12:36 p.m. PDT, 3:36 p.m. EDT, 7:36 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So it rules war. So things are going to be more aggressive, again, amping everything up. Good time to start a new business. Things can explode, okay? Volcanoes and sunspots and more of it. By the way, if you're feeling a bit dizzy, a little off the last day or so, there is a big solar flare. I am very sensitive to those things as well. So, where are we here? On the 12th, Mars conjuncts Neptune at 2 plus degrees. That's at 10:30 p.m. PDT. On the 13th at 1:30 a.m. EDT and 5:30 a.m. GMT. This is a big delusions or big new dreams, big fantasies, big oil prices as well. Again, Neptune rules oil. So amping up the projections again. It's sort of like revisiting Pisces territory. All right. On the 13th, Venus sextiles Jupiter. So that's a very nice, positive Venus. These are both benefics, Venus, Jupiter. This is traditional rulership. 16 degrees, 1:21 a.m. PDT. So for those of you who do rituals, you would do them at exactly those times. 4:21 a.m. EDT, 8:21 a.m. GMT. That's real witchy stuff there. On the 14th, Mercury enters Aries. Okay, so now our heads are talking, our thinking, going to go super fast. You won't be able to interrupt. You'll be interrupting everybody. You know, you won't get to finish a sentence. So mind on fire again. That's good. 8:21 p.m. PDT, 11:21 p.m. talking fast. EDT, April the 15th at 3:21 a.m. GMT. You can tell I'm already talking really fast. And I put on my red nail polish for the occasion. Okay. April the 16th, the Sun conjuncts Chiron, which can be a bit of a wounding energy. You know, Chiron's been in Aries for a very long time now, for the last 4+ years. That's at 26 plus degrees of Aries, 8:10 a.m. PDT, 11:10 a.m. EDT, 3:10 p.m. GMT. That could also signify a kind of a lot of woundings in the war, okay? April 16th, Mars sextiles Pluto. Again, Mars and Pluto both rule Scorpio, so they're supporting each other. It can be quite dangerous, quite empowering day. You know, all planets have good and negative and positive aspects, just like everything else. 5 plus degrees, 11:56 a.m. PDT, 2:56 p.m. EDT, 6:56 p.m. GMT. On the 16th, Mercury conjuncts Neptune, 2 plus degrees, 7:01 p.m. PDT, 10:01 p.m. EDT. On the 17th of April at 2:01 a.m. GMT. I want to ask if people have noticed that their dreams have changed since Neptune's been in Aries, right? Since January. So that would be an interesting thing to track, how your dreams are changing. Okay, very important, because we're in a whole different element. We are really in the fire element right now. April 17th, now watch out. This is a big red letter day on the new moon, 2 weeks from now. 27 Aries, 29 minutes at 4:52 a.m. PDT, 7:52 a.m. EDT, 11:52 a.m. GMT. 8 planets are in Aries. Okay, so that is the Sun, the Moon, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, Mars, the ruler, Chiron, and Eris. Okay, that is a lot. That is totally unprecedented. Even if you just deal with old-fashioned traditional planets, that is 5 planets in Aries. Okay, so that's a hot time. Okay, things are extremely explosive. Okay, so Aries people, I think you're gonna have to strap yourself down here. Look at where Aries is in your chart. Okay, everybody has Aries somewhere. Also, this will impact Libra, Cancer, and Capricorns. Okay, on the 18th, Mercury in Aries sextiles Pluto. Again, when planets are sextile each other, they are 2 signs apart. That's a nice little supportive aspect at 5 plus degrees. 1:34 p.m. PDT, 4:34 p.m. EDT, 8:34 p.m. GMT. And then on the 19th, another big day to watch, Mars conjunct Saturn in Aries at 7 degrees, 7 plus degrees. This is a very, very dangerous day because, again, this is a finality, it's karmic, it's like restrictions of all that energy. So that could be a big blow up day. Okay, so watch out for that one. It is a Sunday, 3:44 p.m. PDT, 6:44 p.m. EDT, 10:44 p.m. GMT. Watch out, these are 2 malefics joining up. So that weekend, 17th and 19th, watch out for that one. Okay, but then on the 19th, Taurus season begins. So the sun moves into Taurus, which starts to bring the energy down, simmer things down a bit. It's grounding, it's practical, it's sensuous. You know, Taurus season, the bull market, okay? 6:39 p.m. PDT, 9:39 p.m. EDT, and on the 20th at 1:39 a.m. GMT. It is bull market time, it's grounding time, it's earthing, okay? So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, like I am here, it's like spring, more springy season will start. On the 20th, Mercury conjunct Saturn. This is a good time for serious thinking, contract signing, good time to get married, actually launch a new business, 7 degrees, again, Aries, 4:22 a.m. PDT, 7:22 a.m. EDT, 11:22 a.m. GMT. On the 20th also, Mercury conjuncts Mars. Again, very fast, mind on fire, good for think tanks, 7 plus degrees again, 2:45 p.m. PDT, 5:45 p.m. EDT, 9:45 p.m. GMT. Yeah, running on, maybe good for comedians, people who want to talk really fast, get your ideas, you know, good for a sales pitch, Mercury rules sales, good for launching a new business. On April 23rd, Venus conjuncts Uranus at 29 degrees of Taurus, right at the very last degree of Taurus where Uranus is hanging out for a while. That could be a big shock, positive or negative, to the stock market, the bull market, or the crypto market as well, because Uranus rules the crypto market. Digital ID, all of that stuff. Could be a big hacking day as well. 6:58 p.m. PDT, 9:58 p.m. EDT, on the 24th at 1:23 a.m. EDT. That is a wild date, or if you want to go on a wild date, or if you want to have love outside the box or in space or wherever. On the 23rd, Venus enters Gemini. So again, all of that whole date there from the 17th to the 23rd and a little bit beyond, Venus enters Gemini. So again, Venus moving out of her home sign into Gemini. Again, we want to love marketing, language, thinking, debating, arguing. Gemini is the lovers in the tarot, you know? So 9:03 p.m. PDT, April 24th at 12:03 a.m. EDT, 4:33 a.m. GMT. And on the 25th, Uranus finally re-enters Gemini to stay for the next 7 years. So this takes us until 2033. 5:50 p.m. PDT, 8:50 p.m. EDT, 11:50 p.m. GMT. Uranus and Gemini is going to really speed everything up. So big tech, AI, robots everywhere, digital ID, digital surveillance, satellites everywhere, opposing ideas. We're in Gemini. So this is about debating, arguing. It could polarize things further, but Uranus is about freedom. So the thing about freedom of speech is going to be the big topic, free speech, freeing our minds, racing minds, we're going to break out of the old mental construct. So there could be a big revelation from space. Again, they've been threatening about, aliens. That's Uranus rules space. So aliens. So yeah, the aliens could show up and talk to us and straighten us out, April 27th, Venus sextiles Neptune at 3 degrees. That's 10:43 a.m. PDT, 1:43 a.m. EDT, 5:43 a.m. GMT. It's a nice, soft, romantic, spiritual energy. Put on those rose-colored glasses and just tune out and ignore the world burning down. But things have to burn down before they get rebuilt. So it's in a way, it's a good thing. Okay. April 26th, Mercury squares something here. Mercury squares Jupiter at 15 degrees, I believe. 1:33 a.m. PDT, 2:33 a.m. EDT, 6:33 a.m. GMT. I'm missing a bit of that information. April 28th, Venus trines Pluto. That's a very nice, positive, good for the stock market, good for the earth, good for enriching yourself, good for women. Pluto is the wealth of the underworld. Good for stocks, again, tech, crypto, all of that stuff. 5 degrees, 9:40 a.m. PDT, 12:40 a.m. EDT, 4:40 a.m. GMT. Nice positive boost there. Okay, so all right. So for those of you who stuck with me, I think this is the part you all want to hear about, is how April, this crazy wild, but this is sort of the last one until we get into eclipse season again in the summer. All right, we're just smudging everybody virtually. I've got my special Herkimer diamond crystal here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take off my glasses now. All right, so how I'm going to do this is I'm using the 22 major arcana here of the tarot. And I've got, whoops, they all just went kablop on me. All right, I'm going to do that little trickster energy here. It's all that Aries energy. I'm basically a fire and air person myself, so I'm in my element. But for those of you who don't have a lot of fire and air, which are considered traditionally to be masculine, aggressive, I know about all the gender stuff, active, outgoing signs there, you might be feeling very much out of your element. So this is an initiation to really embracing that energy. And we're going to be in the element of air for the next 200 years, basically. All right. So we're going to start with Aries. And so Aries, let's see what you got here. You get the Magician. Okay. So the Magician card in the tarot, yes, they've just redone a Harry Potter thing, apparently, is this year, 2026, is a number 1 year. That's what it reduces to. So in the Magician year, it's thinking, it's communications. This is Hermes or Thoth in Egyptian mythology. So put your thinking cap on. It's definitely about making a new beginning, Aries. If you've been waiting, although Aries don't really wait, they don't have any patience, this is a time to initiate something new on every level possible. So look at where Aries is in your chart. If you have Aries rising or Aries in any of the houses, that's where you're going to make a new beginning, okay? So think about it. You have this magical ability to create, to change. I think in quantum physics now they're understanding that our thought processes creates everything, and we're really beginning to understand that quantum mechanics, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to give you an extra card, Aries. So if you need some extra help here, let's see what Aries gets here. Aries, you get, in this deck, it's 21. So 21, or the world, this is a very unusual deck here, just so you can see that one. The world or the universe is Saturn. So this is kind of giving you a little pause to think about what you're going to do before you jump into that fire. You know, give it a little thought. Think about what you want to build. Saturn is the builder, it's the architect, it's maturity, it's your father, it's the patriarchy. So it could be rebuilding a new patriarchy. There's a lot of energy about that. Also career, you want to start a new career, new business. Aries is all about being an entrepreneur. Okay. All right, now Taurus. Let's all think about what Tauruses need course, you're in your spotlight right now with Venus and Taurus. That makes Tauruses very happy. Okay, so Taurus, you get the card of alchemy. So the number 14 in this deck is called alchemy. It's usually called temperance in most people's decks. It is a combining of the opposites. So this is kind of, it's like an upper energy of Gemini, I would say. It is Sagittarius energy, which is the shadow or the opposite side of Gemini, but it's about the duality. It's about combining the duality. It's about the masculine becoming feminine and the feminine becoming masculine so they can understand each other, but they're still complementary opposites because our universe is based on polarities, on magnetism. We need that. That's how the universe works. So by empathizing, by becoming the other, you turn lead, which is Saturn, into gold. That's what the alchemists were really trying to do. So it's a time of deep transformation. It indicates whatever's you've been struggling with gets turned into gold. Okay, so it could be a project that you've been struggling with now. Go for the gold, especially while Venus is in Taurus in April. Okay, so let's give you an extra card here. Taurus. Okay, it'd be nice to see your feedback. Okay. You get the number 2, which is the High Priestess here. So she's very mystical, magical. High Priestess here, again, that sense of duality, okay? So working with the polarized opposites, combining them. It's kind of a sacred marriage card, the number 14. So the High Priestess tells you, Taurus, to remember your dreams, to pay attention to your intuition. Tauruses are very gut instinct intuitive. Listen to your dreams very much. So again, like I mentioned, pay attention to how your dreams have changed. For a Taurus, if Taurus is your rising sign, then all that Aries stuff is happening in your 12th house in your unconscious. So you want to mind that. You know, it's also reflective time, not really time to move. You'll feel the pressure to move. That's Aries, you know, move ahead, but to sit and to wait until it feels right for you to move ahead. Okay, so now, can people hear me okay? I want to make sure that people can hear me okay. I don't know that they can, actually. And I can't really see. Okay, so I hope this is working out okay. So Gemini, you get the Fool. All right, so Geminis, with Uranus entering your sign, definitely get to be the Fool. It's a brand new ball game. It is good for all Geminis to reinvent themselves, to be the Fool, the wise Fool, the enlightened one, to live more fully in the moment. Not that Gemini doesn't do that anyway, but it brings a kind of creative, okay, good, thank you for that feedback. New creative, so it can be new jobs, new relationships, new moves, new everything. Anything you can imagine is going to be new, okay? And in a way, Geminis become the new leaders because Uranus is in that sign. New tech leaders, new marketers, new information, okay? So this is good. So be like the innocent fool. It also can indicate doing inner child work, okay? Because that's what the Fool represents. So where you need to get in touch with your golden child. Maybe you need to play more. I mean, most Geminis are very playful. Maybe you need to play in a new way. Maybe you need to nurture other people's children. Maybe you need to write a children's book. Maybe you need to market in a new way. Maybe it's a return to innocence, you know, rather than being so jaded and so cynical. That would be nice to be able to be innocent again. Okay, and don't be afraid to be a fool for love. Okay, all right. So Geminis, let's see what you got here. Okay, so Geminis, you get the Death card. Okay, so this is a very unusual, again, a Death card here. You know, it's Scorpio energy. Scorpio is actually in conjunct Gemini. So for Scorpio energy here, look at Gemini, what's in your 8th house. Traditionally, Scorpio houses and signs are not the same. A death and a rebirth. You know, for anything to be born, there has to be a death. When you become a mother, you die as a single woman to become a mother. When you get married, you die as a single person to become a union. So whatever you need to let go of, you have to get ready maybe to make some sacrifices. There could be some big changes in your finances. That's Scorpio energy, right? Could be some new unconscious stirrings that come up with Uranus and Gemini. Again, getting wild, getting free, thinking outside the box. You know, you want to burn things down, okay? Remember, for Geminis, you know, this is happening in your 11th house. So it has to do with your social networking. That could change very much. Okay. So Cancer. So Cancers are going to get pushed by all that very hot Aries energy. You know, maybe be careful when you're cooking. Okay. So Cancer, you get the card of the Star here. So again, the Star is like Aquarius energy. So this is about being the star in your own right. This is about reaching for the stars. This is maybe you start having ET contacts or messages, or because that's space. Aquarius represents space. So this is about going beyond your normal boundaries and reaching for something new, reaching for the stars. It's about opening your mind. It's about expanding your mind. And so definitely for Cancers, this is about getting outside your comfort zone and reaching for something new. And I love this card actually as a meditation device, because it's, if you take the position of the card, you put up your left hand and you send your consciousness out to the stars, and then you ask, you know, what is my cosmic mission? And you bring down that starlight. You know, we are stars. Bring down that starlight through your body, through your heart, and you dispense it down with your right hand to the earth. Okay. So, I mean, Cancers, this is where you have to nurture in a bigger way. Maybe you have to go out and nurture the world, nurture the children of the world, getting involved more in politics and social networking and contributing more to a bigger cause, okay? So the 17 is always a sense of hope, okay? So Cancers who've been feeling so much with Jupiter and Cancer and all the Pisces energy, that's going to shift, so you're going to get a bit of a reprieve. Aquarius is detached, and I think Cancers can always use that. Okay. So, Cancers, let's give you an extra card as well. All right. You get number 20. So number 20 in this card, it looks like something from Laputa, if you like Studio Ghibli, Castles in the Sky. But number 20 is traditionally called Judgment Day. And it is about the Archangel Gabriel blowing his trumpet. Now, a lot of people are talking about Judgment Day, you know, the whole war in Iran, Israel, all of that stuff. But it's not that at all. It is about stop being judgmental on yourself. It is a freeing, it is a rebirth. There's that child that's being born. It could signify a pregnancy, actually. Cancers are actually very fertile right now until the end of June when Jupiter leaves Cancer. So this represents a kind of freedom, releasing yourself from your own judgments. Again, having something new coming into your life, okay? All right. So Leos. All right, so Leo, all fire signs are benefiting from all of this fire in Aries here. Let's see. So you get the moon. Now, this is interesting because the moon card, the number 18, is Pisces. So there's still elements in your unconscious that you need to work with, Leo, okay, before you can make the big move forward. And also at the end of June when Jupiter enters Leo for the next year. So you have to complete. It's very important how you finish something up before you move ahead. This can also be dreams and images and stuff from your past. It feels like it's ancestral stuff or karmic things, you know. It's fear. So what are you really afraid of, you know? So, you know, being so propelled into the fire might bring up some fears. You know, do I want to run into that house on fire? What do I want to burn down, you know? So dealing with fear, having faith, maybe your faith has been lost, maybe you've gotten kind of cynical. You know, Leo rules the heart. It's really important that Leos do what's in their heart or else they get heart attacks. So maybe you want to think about that. Maybe you feel like you've been squeezed into this really narrow space, but the cards are saying there's hope, there's faith, there's movement, there's going to be an opening up ahead for you. So don't give up. All right, so Leo, let's see what we got for you here. Leo, you get the number 6. So the number 6 is traditionally the Lovers in the tarot. Again, this is a very unusual deck here. So again, opening up to love. Maybe your heart's been broken. Maybe you feel like you gave up faith, gave up hope. This is about love. It's about new partnerships. It's about being able to breathe again, actually opening your mind, finding balance within yourself, creating, you know, maybe you have to write more. Maybe you should start journaling. Marketing yourself, you know, but it feels like this is a hopeful thing after you've been really restricted. Okay, so let's get on to Virgo. All right, so Virgo, let's see what's going on for Virgos. Now, the South Node is still in Virgo. So Virgo, you get the Lovers. Okay, so this is always a very positive card. It represents the balance of the masculine and the feminine. It is about marketing, about thinking, about communications, about loving yourself ultimately. So Virgos, you can be very, very hard on yourself, very, very self-critical. This can represent, of course, literally love coming into your life, a new job you love, because you remember, this is all about new beginnings for everybody, okay? Dare to go where you haven't been before. You know, Gemini, when you're in a center of Gemini, it's really going to blow people's minds. So it's kind of reminiscent of the 60s. So Virgo, why don't you do what you love? Why don't you bring more balance into your life? It can, again, represent relationships, sorting things out, maybe narrowing it down to 2 things rather than trying to be everything and a perfectionist. But ultimately, it's about honing your mind, okay? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which represents the mental processes. You know, maybe your mind should be kinder to yourself. You're always very self-critical. So maybe the mantra should be, I love myself over and over and over again. I love and accept myself exactly as I am, you know, while you're doing some EFT tapping perhaps, okay? All right, so are you doing the work you love is always a good thing for Virgo. Are you in a health routine that you love? All of those things. Okay, so Virgo, you get the Fool. Okay, so especially tomorrow on April Fool's Day, Virgo, do something that you're terrified to do, that you would never think you were doing. I don't know, don't wash for a day, let your house get dirty, I don't know, whatever it is, do something really silly and foolish and don't worry about it. And just give yourself a break. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just give yourself a break from being such a perfectionist and always showing up on time, be late. It's kind of a backwards wisdom. It's kind of a tradition, Zen wisdom as well. It's a shamanic tradition to do something totally opposite what you would normally do. So this can be very enlightening for you, actually. Okay, so Libra. Okay, so Libra is also going to get opposed by all this Aries energy, which I think is good for Libra, especially on that full moon tomorrow. It's not about thinking about everybody else. It's about balancing by what you want, you know? So do you know what you want, Aries? This is the King, the Emperor. This is Aries energy. It's like, what do I want, you know? I have 4 planets in Libra. So this is about getting fired up, about being your own boss, about taking command, about not people-pleasing anymore. I mean, don't be a jerk, but, you know, really balancing yourself by going, it's not just what they want or what I don't have to please them, but it's just, what do I want? You know, so this can be a big inquiry time, can set your mind on fire. You can be impatient, you can be impetuous. Sometimes when we go into a new phase like that, we overdo it. So you could be very angry. So there can be a lot of rage coming up, which I think can be very healthy. It's better to get it out than to hold it in, okay? All right, so Libra, Aries. So the boss, it can be a new man coming into your life, a powerful person, can be a promotion, just any kind of new beginning, all right? So let's see, Libra, let's see what other help we can give you here. You get the Moon. This is number 18. So it's an interesting card to get with the Aries energy because it also represents fear. It's Pisces energy. So when you want to move ahead, it is, again, kind of an like the energy for that I spoke of before, looking what's holding you back unconsciously. Look at the fear that's residing in you, the fear of being alone, the fear of striking out on your own, the fear of being the first one out of the box, okay? Fear of, I can do it on my own, you know, because it is your nature, and we do have our natures, of course, and our personality types. This gives you a chance to explore some hidden realms of yourself and really take command of them. That's the Emperor, you know, it's like, I am in command of my unconscious. I'm in command of my fears, okay? So it can be a big breakthrough for you as well, okay? All right, now Scorpios. Now, you got to remember, Scorpios ruled by Mars, so Mars and Aries also, even though they don't see each other, which is kind of ironic, it's going to boost Scorpio up with a lot of energy. All right, so Scorpio, you get the number 9 here. Again, the Hermit. This is Virgo energy. So this is about grounding your anger, grounding resentments, grounding wanting to be in control, grounding all of those unconscious energies that Scorpio has, power, control, secrets, shame. I would say it's about really getting solid with yourself, really doing practical, simple. It's about watching your health, actually, getting a new health routine. It could be about your work. Maybe you want to go it alone with your work. I mean, it's Aries energy. It's about pioneering. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to your gut instincts, pay attention to your body, not just your emotions, I would say. Okay, that's okay that you're late. So the Hermit, so maybe it's about money. Maybe you have to start saving some money. Scorpios are all about finance. Maybe saving some money. Maybe you've lost money in the big stock market up and down, or you've lost your job even. So even if you may feel lost and you're at the end of your rope, it's always darkest before the dawn. And the Hermit is about having an inner wise guide. So listen to your inner wise Hermit, Scorpio, okay, and follow that advice. All right, so Scorpio, let's see what you got here. You get Hangman. Okay, so the Hangman is an important initiation card. It's kind of like an emotional baptism. It's if you're feeling hung up, you have to invert the way you've been seeing things, Scorpio. I know they kind of tend to think they know everything, but this is about looking at things from a new perspective. And again, because we're going into this whole new energy field, it's going to shift everything for everybody, and new things can feel strange. So it's about inverting how you're looking at things. It's about letting go. This is a big lesson for Scorpios. Scorpios like to be in control. They always have their list, any grievances. This is about letting go of the list, okay? This is about freeing yourself up. Remember, the overall energy is burning down the old system, freeing our minds up. So for Scorpio, this can be a good thing. Let go. You don't want to stay in the battle. It's not really helping anybody anymore. Just learn how to give it up. Easier said than done, right? Okay. So Sagittarius. Now, again, Sagittarius is the last of the fire signs. Will really be amping up their energy. All the mutable signs, actually, that have been underwater. And you get the wishing card. Okay. Well, I'll take it. I've got 3 planets in Sag. Okay, so Sagittarius, the wishing card, the 9 of Cups, it's Jupiter, your ruling planet in Pisces. And so you get to have 9 wishes, okay? But think very carefully about what you want. Now, this is not about manifestation, okay, at all. You know, whatever the moon cycle is, it's not about manifestation. You get the 9 wishes. It's about sending blessings to the world. It's about sending goodwill to the world. It's about having no enemies. It's about seeing that we're all one. This is very, very healing, okay? So don't rant about things that you're upset about politically in the world. Sagittarius, I know it's something you do. Let it go. Send good wishes, seeing the world in the state that you'd like it to see, where everybody's happy and everybody's fulfilled and everybody understands their oneness. There's no religious wars. There's no fighting over stuff, okay? We find our oneness. And Sagittarians, you're supposed to be the wisdom keepers. So remember that we were once in that state, okay? So it's important to stay meditatively in that state, okay? All right, and to send those 9 wishes out to the world, okay? All right. And the more you send to others, the more you get back. Okay, so this is the card number 4 then. So this is the Aries, this is the Emperor. So the more you let go, the more Sagittarius you send out into the world, you send the blessings. Whenever you hear about somebody being hurt, you send blessings, you visualize that. Sagittarians are very mystical. And then you get to have more power. So the real power is in surrendering, in a way, to the oneness, to our essential spiritual oneness, and then you have real power. Okay, and then you get to initiate something new. All right. So Capricorns, again, Capricorns, you're going to get pressured with all this fiery Aries energy. All right. Well, when you put fire under earth, you get to actually make pottery. Might be a good thing to do. Okay, you get the Hangman. Okay, so Capricorns, you're going to have to let go of the way you've been doing things. Okay, I know you're practical, you're resourceful, you're the rock, everybody relies on you. But now it's time to let go. So this could initiate a new beginning for you again. Not being the scapegoat, not being the workaholic, not taking responsibility, which is a hard thing for you to do, okay? The Hangman kind of challenges us to let go of being identified with being the scapegoat. You don't want to do that. And being the martyr, okay? Don't be the martyr to anything anymore, because again, it's all changing up. You want to free yourself up as much as possible. Again, thinking about things in a totally different perspective is what brings you this new energy. Okay. The Hangman is a very complex card, actually. Again, okay, I'm going to say one more thing here. It has to do with addictions as well. So any addictions you've been dealing with, whether it's alcoholism or workaholism or porn or whatever that is, you need to let it go. Okay, all right. So Capricorns, let's give you an extra card here. Okay, so you get strength. This is 11 in this deck. It's strength. So this is Leo energy. This is the heart. So by letting go of needing to control things in the material world, it puts you in touch with your heart. You know, Leo rules the heart. So the strength to lead, the strength to have passion, the strength to understand that the heart rules everything, doing what's in your heart, not doing what doesn't really feel right to you, doesn't make you feel alive, doesn't bring more love into your life. Let's put it that way. It's not all about the money. It's not about the power. It's about love. Okay, so focus on what brings more love into your life and how you can be more loving, Capricorn. Okay, so Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, let's see what you got. So of course, the air signs, not just Gemini, but Libra and Aquarius is also benefiting from Uranus entering Gemini. You get the High Priestess here. So again, this is about balance. Now, all the air signs are dualistic. You know, it represents the mind, it represents the rational and the intuitive. So the High Priestess fits in with that modality. Okay, again, she holds the veil between the worlds. So maybe there's something that you haven't seen, or maybe you're the person who lifts the veil so people can really see what's going on. You know, we've been having the wool pulled over our eyes for a long time. So you can be the one who stands between the worlds, who's the go-between, the ambassador, who brings the intuitive and bridges that gap. It gives you a lot of emotional strength, Aquarius, you know, to maybe express emotions. You still have them. Everybody has emotions. And it can also indicate a new viewpoint on things, okay? It can indicate a powerful woman as well coming into your life, someone who helps you to see balance, okay? Helps you to understand that there is no duality, actually, again, and helps you to see things from a different perspective. Okay, again, more emotional. It's the moon. The High Priestess is the moon, bringing in more emotional balance into your life, Aquarius. Okay, so you get the number 8, which is justice in this deck. You know, there's an 8-11 thing in different tarot decks. So justice, it's very nice, the honeycomb here. Libra, justice is Libra, traditionally in the tarot. So again, balance. This is the thing about the balancing act. Asking yourself, where am I in balance? And also it's about bringing justice, you know. So again, because Aquarius is very much on the cutting edge of new things, and I just saw an amazing documentary on Netflix about how Facebook and everything really controls, and that the algorithms control everything. So people are only seeing what's tailored to them. We're not getting a full view of the world. So to be aware of that. This is about bringing a balanced view, bringing judgment, bringing justice into the world. There could be legal issues that you're involved in as well. Could be hacking, could be breaking free of old restrictions. You know, this is about needing to be in relationships with people. So it can be building new relationships as well. Okay. All right. And now we get to Pisces. All right. So Pisces, yes, with Neptune and Aries, and then all this energy in Aries. If you are a Pisces, this is all happening in your second house, which is of self-worth and values, okay, and resources and tools. So this is the universe here. So for you, this is the end of the road, Pisces. This is 21, the world, the universe. It's about, you've been through it all. You've been through the ringer, the cosmic ringer, the big cosmic wheel, Hamlet's mill. And now you've come back to Earth. So this is about, it's Saturn energy. It's about taking responsibility. Saturn is still conjunct Neptune, showing up in the world, coming out into the world, you know, staking your claim. It could be buying some land. It could be a big move. It could be standing up for what you really believe. And it's about coming out maybe as a spiritual person, as a healer. It's about standing up to power, to authority, to your father, to the patriarchy, you know, all of those things. And it's about freeing yourself. As long as you take responsibility for creating everything in your life, then you're free. Okay, that's the key with this card, the world. So you've been through the whole journey, whole spiritual journey. Now you have to show up in the world. You have to make it real. You have to walk your talk. Okay, that's what really counts. Okay, all right. So let's give Pisces an extra card here. All right, so Pisces. In this deck, you get the number 7, which is the Chariot. Now, the number 7, the Chariot, is a very important card spiritually because it represents the emotional body. There's a whole branch of mysticism connected to this symbol of the Chariot. And you're in the driver's seat, Pisces. So being a very emotional person, you still have to understand you're in the driver's seat. Now, one of the keywords of Aries is driving fast cars, you know, putting your foot on the gas. You have to feel like you're in charge here emotionally. So you have to get yourself into a different kind of point of view here. Again, you're in the world in a new way. It's also about being protected, okay? And Aries is about armor. It's about defensiveness. So make sure you have very strong spiritual armor as you come out into the world, because you're like a brand new baby in a way. You need to be protected, and the Chariot gives you that sense of protection. So this can be a good visualization for you. Really feel it, that you have that spiritual protection for you, and also can relate to your home. So this could indicate a new home, a new move, a new job, a new everything, new self-worth. Okay, so this is very, very exciting for Pisces. And your mother, also do with mother, children, fertility, all of that energy. Very good, very positive as well. Okay, so I want to thank you very much for being here with me. Today, I'm Tara Greene. If you want to get in touch with me for a personal in-depth reading, I'm at taratarot.com. I also strongly recommend that you join Cosmic Intelligence Agency. They have many workshops throughout the year, and you can learn a lot, okay? So wishing you all the best blessings in April. You know, get ready to put on your running shoes and just run straight into the new, okay? So I want to send you all the best blessings of the month, okay? And see you next month, okay? Blessings to you.